Welcome back to my channel. I know it's been a little while, and I'll talk about that in just a moment, but we had a really fun little session this morning. It's the tail end of a swell that's been here for the last few days. And I haven't gotten a lot of Soloshot surfing footage recently because I've been struggling a little bit. A lot of it my own fault with some Soloshot issues, to be honest. But also just the frustrations that have happened in the past with Soloshot. And I kind of want to take this opportunity while you watch some of these smaller little waves just to talk about what it's like to have a Soloshot if you're not a pro camera guy or a pro vlogger, or perhaps even a pro or a competition surfer that really needs this as a tool. So for me, overall, I've liked the Soloshot. I have to say, it's a really cool product. There are some technological glitches which I have referenced in the past, but Soloshot seems really good about cleaning those up. But I do have to admit that oftentimes, actually every time I take it out, I'm halfway expecting something to go wrong. So there's an aspect of even taking the Soloshot out in the first place that kind of colors the whole vibe of the session. And to me, surfing as an average Joe, I think a lot of other people will relate to this. When I go out in the water, I want to escape everything. I want to escape technology, my phone, all the cars, whatever it is, wherever you live. We surf for different reasons, but I think it's a pretty common thing for most people to get out there and enjoy the experience. And when you go into it knowing you're recording, knowing you're going to be dealing with a piece of technology that may or may not work correctly, or you may or may not use it correctly, which, to be fair, has been the recent experience for me, that can kind of take away some of that freedom that you get from just being out in the water. So all that being said, I have had some frustrating experiences that are entirely my own fault recently. One situation, somehow the night before when I was charging everything up, I must have turned the tag on accidentally. And so the next morning I got out there, set everything up, and it immediately quit working as soon as I paddled out. I've done the opposite where I somehow didn't turn the Soloshot off the night before, so I took it out, it did its startup procedure, and then shut down as soon as I was in the water. And then literally 24 hours before the footage you're seeing now, we had, it was a couple feet higher maybe, it was really nice yesterday morning. Everything set up perfectly with the Soloshot, but I forgot to actually hit the dang red button to record it. So when I got home, I found an entire disc full of nothing. And the thing is, it's hard not to get bummed out when that happens, and it's hard not to have it sort of ruin your session. It happens with the technological pieces that I've described in other videos where I miss waves and things like that, and that's just that underlying sort of conflict that I've found with the Soloshot is, do I want to deal with it, or do I just want to go out and have fun and surf? And admittedly, over the last several months, I've really just been going out, having fun and surfing. But I did want to get back into it and get some videos back out. So I will be trying to do more of these, but bear in mind it's summer over here. There's Patty. It's summer over here, and the waves aren't all that great, and typically it would be a lot more crowded. I think the only reason it's not crowded is because we have had waves for several days, and I think most people are pretty tired. So I'm going to kind of wrap this up by saying I really have liked my Soloshot. The product has some challenges in its usage, but Soloshot's really on top of that. But simply having it and dealing with it, it's kind of like being a musician and recording yourself. There's sometimes a conflict between wanting to just have fun versus the responsibility and requirements that go into making this tool work correctly. So all this being said, let me talk about leashes. I normally wear a leash because I'm normally shortboarding, but when I do take my fun board out, and it's a small day like this, oftentimes I won't wear a leash, and inevitably I do something silly like this, and I end up paddling around for my board a lot. And unfortunately, I've found the best surfer in the lineup is my surfboard without me on it. It is amazing at catching waves. Now also, when you try to do something aggressive like a late takeoff or maybe something you think is going to close out, I forget that I don't have my leash on, so oftentimes I'll pull into a closeout or something, and at the last second remember, oh no, I don't have a leash, and then I've lost my board. Humph. That's probably the noise I made. Also, sometimes I've kind of tweaked my knees and ankles and stuff, desperately trying to hold on to a board. And in this case, I just took this big one on the head, and that board got yanked out of my hands. And unfortunately, it decided to go all the way into the sand. So I don't think wearing leashes is uncool at all. In fact, it's sometimes it's just a lot easier. So thank y'all for watching. Hopefully we'll see you out in the water, and I'll get some other videos up shortly.